me any match, but
perfectly positioned.
Yeah, I'm the blacks over the pocket, so I couldn't really miss that. And all I was trying to do really was try and get a frame winning break. The balls were lying nicely, and at this stage I wasn't really thinking about the 147. I was just thinking about maybe getting 40, 48 points, get a little break going to get my arm going. But as I was on about 40, I suddenly realised that the reds were all sitting invitingly. And,
but I'm just thinking that you've just gone red, black, red, and as I've said, I think the 5th and 6th shots that you actually played in this frame, you haven't actually, you said get your arm going, but you haven't actually been cueing very much at all at this point.
Yeah, that's right. Obviously, it doesn't matter how much practice you put in. It's totally different from a match situation. So I've not really been having a great time of it so far, but I was just, as I said, I was just trying to get a few points on the board and try to get a feel of the table, because I knew Jimmy had already played a match on the table, and if I let him in, he wouldn't be slow getting used to the table again, I was sure. So I was trying to get a little break here and put him under pressure a little bit.
Because the other thing is, Jimmy, when you get to this point now and you're seeing that you're getting it all right, your rhythm is clearly there, and you're sitting up nicely on the black every time after the reds go down, does it then begin to enter your head that maybe something's on here?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, once I put this black and then red and the black again, I go on for the red and the bottom cushion, and then I knew I had a great angle to go into the pack, that they were tightly bunched. So I knew if I could get into the pack and land out in one there, and I knew it would be
32
on for a good break.
Tell the real amateur snooker players among us, how many shots are you ahead at this point in your mind?
I don't think you need to be too far in front. I think maybe 2 or 3 shots in front. I don't think if people say there's 7 and 8 shots in front, now that's a lie, because you can't tell what's going to happen in 7 shots time, but you can see in your mind about 2 or 3 shots in front what you're trying to do. And I think it was after I pot this red, I had a perfect angle on the black to split into the 4 reds directly under the pink. So
it's a tough one.
Well, no,
40.
No, not really.
That's the word number 1 talking about, because we've seen a few today and other days missed them from that kind of...
Oh yeah, I mean, I've missed them before, I'm sure, but no, you shouldn't really miss that shot.
I'm glad to hear you speak with such confidence. Now where are we in this break, and where are you in your mind at this time?
Yeah, I'm looking at a plant there. I said if I could maybe just roll the black and I could play the plant, but I said no, just try and get into the pack here and hope to get a decent enough split. But I don't think I really got a good one, if I can remember correctly. And I've got to take a very difficult red into the middle bag, so I could easily have broke down here. This is a very tricky shot in the middle, but as soon as I striked it, I knew it was in, and
48.
My mind was back in the 147 again.
So you're acknowledging that at this point you're thinking this is difficult?
Yeah, absolutely, because there was a lot of pressure on as well, because if I miss this red, I'm leaving the frame at Jimmy's mercy, so I was delighted.
Of course, you're at the point where it can go either way.
You're in between now, although you've got your sights set on 147. If I miss any shot here, now Jimmy would go favourite to win the frame, so
because if it's all there for you, it's all there for him equally if you let him on the table.
Exactly. So I didn't really play that black nice. I didn't get enough screw into the white ball, but I managed to recover position again. I put quite a good red into the middle bag here, so I'm back on the break again.
Now you've spoken about the nerves jangling towards the end. Were they you jangled a bit in the middle, as you've acknowledged at this point. Are you then back down off that precipice, as it were, thinking, okay, I'm now back in my rhythm and they're all sitting nicely?
Yeah, I don't think you always see many 147s, everything plain sailing. There's always got to be about 2 or 3 shots that the player is to play really well, and I managed to put a good long red into the top bag here, because this is the red, I think, to win the frame, so there's a little bit of pressure on it just to win the frame really, but as soon as I pot this red, now I'm definitely going for the 147 from here on in.
And you're perfectly positioned for this next black. You've got those few remaining reds, and they're all clustered nicely for you.
Yeah.
And I suppose you're thinking in your mind at this point, all I have to do is maintain my rhythm, maintain...
Exactly. Although the nerves are going, you shouldn't really miss a straightforward shot, which all the balls really are there. They're all set straight forward, so you've just got to, I suppose, rely on a little bit of technique and rely on the hours of practice you've been doing in the club, and you should win me a good chance of doing it. But every shot's difficult under that pressure out there, especially in front of the packed crowd.
And you can't be unaware that their expectation is mounting all the time.
Exactly. There's some people shouting out, "Come on," and there's other people telling them to shut up, and it's quite funny, really. But no, they were great. It was a great atmosphere to actually do it in there.
Talking about other sports, and they say that a batsman in cricket who's been in for a long time sees the ball like a football because he's so into his rhythm. Does it get a bit like that with you when you're at this point in a break? Are you full of confidence now?
Yeah, I was full of confidence here. I roll the black in off 2 cushions here, and I laid myself a nice red in the middle bag, which it is hard under the pressure, but I was feeling very confident at that point, so I fancied knocking this in and screwing back for the black, and I managed to do it quite well. But taking your point, yeah, I suppose it would be different if it was maybe halfway through the match and I was on for the 147. You'd be feeling a lot more confident, but with it being only the first frame, you're still not used to the cushions, or you're still not used to the bed of the table, and there was a couple of tricky shots I thought I would be facing.
Yeah, because it is a different table. It's your first time on it in a competitive situation.
Yeah.
I don't think we should overlook that the whole business of doing this in the first frame of your first match puts the whole thing onto a totally different level. Oh
yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable break to actually do when you're first going visit to the table. But I played a bad shot there. I get too much into the white ball, and I've left myself a tricky red into the middle bag, and I managed to pot the red, but then I go too close to the cushion. I'm just trying to dig into this a little bit more than what I actually do. I don't catch it well enough, and my white's over near the side cushion. Plus it was straight, so all I've really tried to do here is if I screw it off. If I screw it off too far, I'm going to land myself on the side cushion, and I wouldn't really have a shot to go on the black. So I could play that another 100 times here, and I wouldn't land as perfect as I did there. So from here on in, I'm perfect. So I just try to stun this red in and screw back a little bit to leave myself at a plain ball black. All you really have to do with the black is pot it and come off the bottom cushion and go up the right side of the pink there. But I don't get into the red now good enough, and I've got to come off 2 cushions. This was a difficult shot. I've got to come off 2 cushions and play it perfect for the yellow, and luckily enough for me, as I said, if I had that another 100 times, I don't think I would play it as well as that again. So
was that the shot of the break?
That was a shot that's actually won me. With the colours being on the spots here, you should never have a miss from there. But the old nerves were certainly going at this stage.
As you say, when they're all on their spots, there shouldn't be.
Exactly. You do this hundreds and hundreds of times on the practice table back in your club, and you shouldn't really miss. But now they never come easy, and I pot the brown, then I pot the blue, but I don't come off the bottom cushion far enough for the pink. And all I can really do is drop the pink in and leave myself a very difficult black. So this was a shot. I don't come off the bottom cushion far enough.
I suppose if you're going to claim £27,500 and a share at least of the 3,000 for the top break in the tournament, you've got to give yourself something difficult to do.
Well, you don't really want now too many difficult shots here, but all you should really do there is not land below the pink. Always land above it, because it'll be quite easy to go on the black. But all I can really do here is just roll the pink in, and leave myself a very difficult black. I actually didn't fancy potting this, being honest. I was exactly. I was down on it, and I was going to hit it hard, and I was going to hit it slow, and I was thinking to myself, what if you get a kick on the black? But I managed to get down on it and just say, look, just try and pot it as if you were maybe holding for a red at the pack, and luckily for me, I've hit it quite nice.
That's such a perfect end.
Yeah,
the perfect break.
It was great.
And the first time